Thanks for tuning into the BoshNRoll channel. Liking and subscribing the channel is free and easy, and it helps me out a lot. If you want to go a little farther with your support, I have Patreon and YouTube membership available, which includes access to the BoshNRoll Discord server, early access to things I'm working on, sideboard plans, cards I'm buying. You could have me play your deck on the channel, and the highest tiers come with individual coaching sessions. If you use the YouTube membership option, you get sweet, unique YouTube badges and emotes for the channel. If you want to play what I'm playing, you can use the code BoshNRoll to support my channel while you shop for cards at tcgplayer.com. And if you're playing on Magic Online, a cardhoarder.com loan account can let you play any deck anytime. If you want to wear your support, there is BoshNRoll merch available. All of these links are in the video description below. Thank you so much for watching. Now let's go play some Magic. Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today I have quite a brew for you from Patreon subscriber Robert. This is Chains of Mephistopheles Rack Pox. Chains of Mephistopheles, of course, is a card that is whispered about in corners of fringe rules interactions and just general griefing in EDH games. This card, what this does is if a player would draw a card, except the first one they draw in a turn, or the first one in each of their draw steps. So this is worded like Hull Breacher. It's not like Narset or Leovold. You only get one draw per turn, and only during your own draw step. You don't get to draw one card on the opponent's turn, one card on your turn, like some cards are worded. This is the harsh version. If a player would draw a card outside of the first one in their draw step, that player discards a card instead. If the player discards a card in this way, they draw a card. If the player doesn't discard a card this way, they mill a card. So it turns any extra draw into a rummage. And if you can't rummage, if you don't have a card to discard, you just mill one instead of drawing. That's what one Chainz does. What two Chainz do, and you'll notice there's 4 of them in the deck. What two Chainz do is if you would draw a card, you discard a card instead. And then the first Chainz says draw a card, and the second Chainz says, okay, if you would draw that card, discard a card instead. So you have to discard 2 cards in order to draw 1 extra card with a second Chainz in play. If you only have 1 card in your hand, you discard it and then mill 1 to the second Chainz because you don't have something to pay to the second Chainz. If there's 3 or 4 in play, basically nobody's going to have a hand very quickly. What are we doing with this absurd Chainz engine? Why are we doing this? Anvil of Bogarden. 2-mana artifact. Players have no maximum hand size. At the beginning of each player's draw step, they draw an additional card, then discard a card. So with Chainz in play, at the beginning of your draw step, so you draw for your turn, Chainz is cool with that, and then Anvil happens in the same step, and you discard a card. If you were Hellbent, it's the one you just drew. And then you get to draw another card, then you have to discard a card. So Anvil of Bogarden plus Chainz is kind of a hard lock on an opponent who's Hellbent. And if you have 2 Chainz in play, this can actually whittle down a player's hand to Hellbent very quickly. And this deck's been built with Life from the Loam in mind, where we can play out of the graveyard pretty reasonably, and hopefully the opponent can't. Win conditions in the deck include Urza Saga beatdown tokens, or your Urza Saga can pop on Chapter 3 and find the Rack, which at the beginning of the chosen player's upkeep, the Rack deals X damage to them, where X is 3 minus the number of cards in their hand, where hopefully that will be 0. 3 minus 0 is 3, so you lightning bolt your opponent every turn with the Rack once they are Hellbent. And around this ridiculous Chainz shell, there's a Pox deck working hard. There's a Loam Pox deck. 4 Wasteland, 1 Ghost Quarter, 3 Small Pox, Hymn to Turok, Dark Ritual, Liliana. All of these things are still happening, like in a normal, above-board Legacy Magic kind of way. And then the Chainz are going to try to get their hooks in the background. Some card choices are different for this particular build. Baleful Mastery is a spicy one. It's a 4-mana removal spell that you could cast it for 2, and if you pay the 2 cost, an opponent draws a card, which, if you have Chainz in play, could be an upside. I've played a lot of Pox on this channel over the years, and Loam Pox is my favorite version of Pox that I've played. And this adds this crazy new layer to it. And I hope we get to do the thing at least once today and really punish those decks that are trying to draw extra cards. Imagine resolving Chains of Mephistopheles against Delver, for example. That deck relies so heavily on card selection, and if their card selection becomes card disadvantage, they'll die really quickly. We just have to make sure that we don't get cheesed out by Murktide Regent, because that card is really good when the graveyard fills up very quickly. We'll just have to watch out for that one, but we have a bunch of answers to it. The sideboard's full of hateful black cards you'd expect: Plague Engineer, Toxic Deluge, Surgical Extraction, the normal stuff. And we got some Turok Dread Cantors over here. This was in Robert's original main deck that was sent to me, and it does go off with Chainz and Anvil. Actually, just saying that out loud, I want one in the main deck. I'm going to cut a Hymn to Turok from the main for an actual Turok. I just think that's so exciting. I want to see it happen. And I'll fill in that extra sideboard slot with something sweet. Got some Storm Hate here, some generic removal, Assassin's Trophy. I'm actually going to add a third trophy to the sideboard. That's the replacement card. I just really want to make sure we don't lose to Murktide Regent. And that's the deck. Let's go get fucking weird about it. I'm on the draw in round 1 against Michael Mapson at Expedition Map on Twitter. He's a legacy podcaster, generally dope individual. Last time we got paired on camera, I beat him with Dream Halls. So let's see if we can keep the stream alive with some bullshit. He just said in the chat, "Oh no, last time you were mean to me and beat me with 2005 cards. How do you feel about 1995 cards?" I'm going to keep this hand. It's got Chains and Anvil in it. We're going off. Michael generally likes dark depth strategies, so I'm really hoping that I can get the hooks in against some kind of mopey green deck. Oh no. The secret's out. My Chains. Urborg and Inquisition is some turbo depth shit, though. This deck has 4 Wastelands and a Ghost Quarter in it, plus the Smallpox, plus the Edict effects. Like, we're pretty well stacked up in general against dark depth strategies. I don't currently have any of those things in my hand, though. Come on, Mox Diamond. Mox Diamond off the top. Make it happen. Urza Saga. Do I want to move in on that? Yeah, probably. Let's go. I can tutor up Mox Diamond. That's pretty sick. That gives him perfect information, because this wasn't in my hand when he Inquisitioned me last turn. But it's still worth getting on the board. There's the depths. Are we dead? Shit. Well, time to draw Smallpox, I guess. Smallpox? Okay, we're dead instead of alive. Oh wait, Baleful Mastery is Exile. Sick. Thanks for pointing that out. I was actually about to concede, and then he said in the chat, I was terrified when Baleful Mastery was printed. That does say Exile. And it even dodges Inquisition. Okay, so I have to play this whole game leaving up Baleful Mastery, basically. I was hoping to get a turn to sneak the Chains in before Dark Depths was threatening my life, but there it is. Oh, sick. Vampire Hexmage, setting my Saga back to 0. That rules. That's why he's the Dark Depths master. Okay, Dark Ritual plays here. What does it do? It gets Chains into play. I can't Chains and Anvil now because I have to leave up 2 mana at all times for the mastery. I could just stick the Chains now while I know the getting's good, and then I can Anvil next turn. Yeah, I'm into that. Yeah, Chains first, then Anvil. Because if I Baleful Mastery, I want it to hurt. We almost got the hooks in. Okay, he is committing to either work through this mastery, or he has the whatever the fuck, I forget what that card's called, the 7 mana counterspell for Eldrazi. Yeah, that one. All right, yep, dead. Not of this world is what it's called. Okay, we are slain. Almost had the hooks in. Okay, what do I want here? Assassin's Trophy, Sudden Edict. It's time to pile the hate on. I don't think I want Surgical Extraction. Like, there's some argument for it of, like, if I survive the first Merit Lage, which my deck is very good at doing, then I can exile the Dark Depths and never have to think about it again. I don't think Hymn to Turok is super important here. And honestly, you don't really need Chainz against this deck. Outside of your own combo, like, that's not a deck that draws cards, so it doesn't have any natural value, which kind of hurts its overall value. Baleful Mastery's secret banger, though. Alright, Grafdigger's Cage doesn't do anything. Isle Spellbomb could cantrip, but mostly whatever. Actually, I am going to cut the Nile Spellbomb and bring in a Surgical. Pithing Needle's great. The Rack is my win condition. Do I want the second Surgical? Like, do I want to make that a plan, or do I just want it to be something the deck does sometimes? I don't want to draw 2 Surgicals. Yeah, I'm just going to submit as this. This hand is a mulligan. It's full of excellent cards for the matchup, but I can't cast them, so that's a no. There we go. I'm going to keep this, and I'm not going to need 2 Life from the Loams. And I am just going to move all the way in here. If I get turn 1 because I didn't hold up Wasteland, like, whatever. Not sure if that's a thing the deck can even do. I think turn 2 is their normal speed, but I've been wrong before. I guess if they have 2 Lotus Petals, a land, like 2 Lotus Petals or Spirit Guides, a land, and Hexmage, that could be a turn 1, so it's possible. And we got Loam Roll and picked up a second Wasteland. I have Assassin's Trophy for the inevitable Pithing Needle on Wasteland. And I like that Urza Saga added to this deck a win condition that you can Loam. Like, Loam Pox used to have to take draws sometimes and have to dredge other times. Now you can just dredge with reckless impunity. I'm going to fetch Bayou. Okay, I think I'm done loaming for a while. I do want some spells. And I did just tap out of my Assassin's Trophy, which was my second layer of protection. So if they, like, waste my waste and then make Merit Lage right here, I let them have that. So I just gotta hope I don't die this turn, I guess. Maybe I shouldn't have loamed that turn. I had land drops to make. Looks like I'm going unpunished, as usual. Liliana of the Veil. That's a good one. Second Wasteland. And it's Liliana time. And this is where the loam really pays off. I have all these extra cards in my hand. I can't just waste the stage because I can copy a basic in response. And I do think tapping out of Trophy for Liliana is worth it. Stage, copy, Wasteland. No waste stage with the... Like, doing this now controls the narrative. If he copies Wasteland with stage, then he has a Wasteland that he can use to take out one of my Wastelands. And at that point, it's like I don't have the Wasteland anyway, so I might as well Wasteland on my terms, get that out of there. It's a Hexmage to kill my Liliana. That's a pretty good one. Yep. Okay, do I loam to make sure I'm holding out double Wasteland? I think so. Yeah, representing double Wasteland. I'm going to hit the Urborg because basic forest is pretty bad in setting up of this deck. Okay, now I have to hold up Wasteland forever. Really love to hit an Urza Saga at some point with these loams. I'm just going to sit this double Wasteland in play, and I can start taking draw steps next turn. Oh, something's happening. Vampire Hexmage. I'm going to let that resolve. I have 2 Wastelands for this purpose. Time to start drawing cards. Let's draw some spells or Urza Sagas. That was neither. I do need to respect the Hexmage beatdowns. I would honestly love an Anvil of Bogardan, just fair and square. Like, loot these lands into real cards. That would be pretty great for me. What's the Jerry step from hand? You love to see it. Always plan A. I'm just fetching now. Let's get lands out of the deck. I want to draw spells. I have plenty of lands. And Loam is active. I'll back up Loam. It's a good time over here. If I Wasteland Dark Depths now, how do I fuck this up? If I Wasteland Depths He sacks in response. I wasteland depths again. Not sure how I lose in that spot. I'm gonna make a move. Drawing the backup loam just makes me want to start spending my lands on something. There's no Urborg. Can't crop rotate into Thespian Stage here. If he responds with Hexmage, I'm gonna waste again. If he just lets it happen, I'm gonna Life from the Loam my wasteland back up and replay it and just pass the turn with 2 wastelands still in play. Okay. Hope I didn't fuck this up. You can crop rotate in response to still have a land, but it's not a Merit Lage. Okay. We have had our exchange. Hexmage is out of play. Loam up the 2 wastelands and the fetch land. Oh no, I'm gonna get Bajuka bogged here. That's good. For him. Bad for me. Alright, I've been bogged. Sure. Powerful play. 1 card, 2 cards in hand over there. Please don't be Hexmage Depths. That would be too powerful. I think now I'm dredging Loam again. I really want to find one of my other 3 wasteland effects. Duress, Mist. You said in the chat, I should have responded to your wasteland by casting Crop Rot for wasteland and targeting your second one. Oh, yeah, I could have made Merit Lage that turn. I did manage to mess that up. I did also get the information that he's also playing wasteland. Which sometimes these decks do play wasteland, like 1 or 2, and sometimes they don't. I think all my fetchable lands are accounted for at this point. Like sometimes this deck just plays a bunch of Pithing Needles. Oh god. Stop casting spells. Okay, just making a basic forest right away. Okay. Like sometimes this deck just plays a pile of Pithing Needles, so it can't play wasteland, because it's going to want to needle wasteland. Alright. I think dredging Loam is still the plan. Like finding an Urza Saga, I'm halfway through my deck and haven't found a 4 of yet. I'm just dead to crop rotation or dark depths at any time. Okay, hit a Ghost Quarter on that one. Back in business. Right, now I can start drawing cards, or do I just keep dredging and try to find a Saga? I could Ghost Quarter the Thespian Stage in the end step, see how many basics it's got over there. Uh-oh, it's time for this. This is what we're doing now. I'm just going to keep dredging. I'd like to find a Saga. Nope, no chance. Yikes. I didn't replay my Loam. I guess I could have Ghost Quartered, cast Loam, replayed Ghost Quarter. Yeah, that was probably the play. I'll do that this turn if I don't draw a real spell. Drawing a card for the turn. It's Dark fucking Ritual, okay. Now I actually can't Ghost Quarter, because if I do, they can crop rotate into the win. Yep, need a spell or a Saga. ASAP. 2 damage is a lot when you got nothing going on. Thoughtseize. I can cast Dark Ritual, so he has to take Loam. Yeah, I actually like that. I'm not going to need that extra 3 mana. That's just not the plan. Can I dredge an Urza Saga? Okay. We're in business, team. A win condition has arrived. There's 20 cards left in my deck. I should probably stop dredging Loam just based on that fact alone. Deck myself before my constructs get the game over with. Another one of those. The clock is on. If I dredge Loam, I can Ghost Quarter Reloam. I think I want to draw cards, though. Alright, there's a Chainz. Does that matter anymore? Crop rotating in response to Saga gaining the ability to make constructs. So if he destroys it right now, I can't make a construct. Clever. And no basics left in my deck. 3 Sagas still in there. Mox Diamond, Life from the Loam, Baleful Mastery, Sudden Edict. Okay. That was extremely well played. I expect nothing less. Do I Ghost Quarter right now? 1 card in hand. I can knock out the stage. Yeah, so I take 4. I get back Saga with Loam, play Saga. I go to 1. Saga goes up to 2. I can make a construct. No, I'm definitely about to get Spirit Guide beat down here. Yeah, I have to just like natural draw some sort of action here, because Loaming isn't going to do it. I think dredging through half of my deck without finding a win condition was part of the problem here. But the other problem is that Mapson's a master and just, casually beat a game where I played 5 or 6 Wastelands. And now I don't think I have an out. Yeah, I'm at 1. Dead to everything. Including the 3 fetch lands in my hand. Yep, GG's. That was a clinic on how to... Like, he even missed lethal this game, and I still just lost easily. Brutal. On to the next one. On the draw in round 2. I have Mox Diamond. That's enough reason for me to keep a hand. Having a burst of mana, like, even if this hand needs some help... Oh, baby. Please, 5 Wastelands, pay me out here. Him to Turok. Okie dokie. Swamp. Mox Diamond. Discard. Basic Forest. Mew. Bang. Got rid of a crop rotation. That's probably good. Maybe I'm supposed to set up Anvil first and just get ahead here. Or at least get the extra selection going. Because I need to find specific things more than they do. Hammer of Bogarden. Or Anvil of Bogarden. Hammer is a different card. That's a burn spell. The hammer hits the anvil. I discarded Bajuka Bog. Joke's on you, I'm a Loam deck. But joke's on me, they have 6 mana right now if they want it. Or 7 mana if they want it. They're settling for 5 mana this turn. I'm gonna fetch. I don't want to draw lands. Smallpox, fuck yeah. And discard. I think Baleful Mastery is the discard here. Am I discarding my whole hand anyway? I play a land, or I discard a card now, I play a land, I him and Pox. Yeah, I'm discarding my whole hand anyway. It doesn't matter. So I'll discard Baleful Mastery. And then him to Turok. Black. And I'm gonna fetch to get the extra card out of my deck here. And cast Pox. They can tutor with map to insulate the discard part of this. Yeah. They tutored up Eye of Ugin. I have to imagine they're also going to discard it. Yeah. And I'm going to keep my Bayous in play. Oh, they sacked a Cloud Post. Fascinating. Rather than the Forest. They kept the Forest and then dropped Elvish Reclaimer. Oh, okay, Raminep Excavator is a great reason to do all of those things. Got it. Ooh, which of these is going to be more useful? It's got to be Saga. Bummer. Just found both of the relevant cards that I wanted. Wasteland any turn before this one would have been insane. Got to get the chains. Got to find the hooks. Cloud Post out of the graveyard. Yeah, the Raminep Excavator, in addition to just being like extra land drops. Oh, we found the chains. Discard Saga for sure. Yeah, in addition to being extra land drops, it's also card advantage that keeps them ahead of the chains. All right, I've done the thing. Let's see if it's any good. Expedition map. They're now hellbent. Not that that matters a lot. They're bogging me. Yeah, that probably makes sense. Pretty clearly a Loam deck. Didn't attack. Why? What's going on over there? All right, so I have to discard Turok. Then I have to discard Smallpox. And then nothing happens. Okay. Make a construct and tutor up. I think it's too late for Nile Spellbomb. Plus, I don't really want to draw extra cards. Just put them in the rack. See if we can get the game over. So they can play Glimmer Posts from the graveyard. Oh, not feeling good about this. I think this Raminep Excavator just is going to break the game in the wrong direction. Oh, cool. Yeah, they drew a Primeval Titan also. Yeah, I need to find Loam. And yeah, them having been able to tread water ahead of my chains by floating cards in play with Expedition map, that was really good. And then just, drew Primeval Titan. Yeah, right. Okay, cool. I did find Loam. I can't replace this dredge with a draw because I'll lose it anyway. All right. I've lost this game. Though we can see how that would have, like, if I drew a Wasteland before they found the Raminep, I win this game. I think it really was just Raminep Excavator, and nothing else really mattered that game. Trophies are coming in. Damping Sphere is actually bonkers here, somehow. Baleful Mastery, not super important. Fatal Push, not great. Loam is very important. Sudden Edict can kill Eldrazi, but my plan is that they don't cast the Eldrazi. And my deck's actually pretty good at doing that, believe it or not. Despite what you may have seen so far. I think I want Turok, something that can get this game over once I'm slightly ahead. Grafdigger's Cage. They are a Zenith deck. Usually. Sometimes. Smallpox too good. Hymn to Turok too good. Liliana also too good. All these cards are too good. Nile Spellbomb. Pithing Needle. Like, Pithing Needle can name, like, Eye of Ugin, but I don't think that's important. Nile Spellbomb can clip a Raminep Excavator. Do I want to play to a game where they have that card or try to just beat that card? Yeah, I have all these Assassin's Trophies in the deck now. Okay. Yeah, I'm doing this. Damping Sphere is filthy. My goodness. I'm going to keep this hand, though it is definitely awkward. If I don't find a third land or a loam, this hand gets real weird. But turn 1 Hymn to Turok is good stuff. It's turn 1 Smallpox. On the play. Got rid of Vesuva and Forest. Reclaimer. Wow, Smallpox is actually really good here. I hope I draw land. 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 Oh, loam might be even better than land. Yeah, definitely loaming here. I can kill their Elvish Reclaimer next turn. Pithing Needle, okay. You name Wasteland, do you name Saga? What's the play? Urza Saga, okay. And Vesuva copied my Saga. You got it. Well, that makes Saga a pretty easy sacrifice to Loam, or to Smallpox. I'm gonna dredge Loam. Saga ticks up. I'm gonna fetch another Bayou. I cast Life from the Loam on these 2 lands. And then I'm gonna Smallpox them into the earth. I'm gonna discard Bayou. Do I want my Saga to pop next turn? I could get the rack and start applying damage. Yeah, I'm loaming next turn anyway. I'll take the tutor. Just making this up on the fly. I can still float mana and cast Liliana. Oh, are they gonna bog me? Okay, yeah, that's fine. I can still float mana and play Liliana. Damping Sphere is fucked. I'm gonna get the rack. Play Liliana. Play my land plus Liliana. Discard other Liliana. And we should both be Hellbent next turn, and the rack will just chew up this game. I'm not going to fetch Verdant Catacombs because now I do want to draw a land. Alright, they're done. Do I want Baleful Mastery out of respect of Elvish Reclaimer? I don't think so. Like, that's one of the juiciest things you could eat with a Smallpox ever. I could, like, again, we're playing against another deck that doesn't draw cards naturally, which makes Chainz a lot worse. And I boarded out my 3 cards that make them draw cards. Maybe Sudden Edict is better than one of the 4 Chainz. I still like Anvil because it helps me. It is card selection, and it goes off with Turok. I'm going to keep this. The first appearance of a land destruction land in the opener. Once Upon a Time from them. Revealing Thespian Stage. And these Forest Go. Deal. I'm just going to do a giant value loam here. Get a Bayou. And off Mox Diamond, I'm going to discard Swamp. Like, I don't want to give them anything super juicy if they rotate into Bog here. Cool. Maybe I'm supposed to lead on Saga. But I wanted to get the extra card off the loam with the fetch land. I do need to be careful. They showed me stage depths in game 1. I'm not going to dredge loam, not yet. Can they make Merit Lage right now? I don't think so. I'm going to play Saga and Liliana and just get this active and get to work on the hands. I discarded Vesuva, I discarded Swamp. Now I don't care if they make Merit Lage because I can eat it. Rex Sage. Okay. That's probably going to take out Saga. Yep. Not a huge deal. Good card, though. Is this a dredge turn? Yeah, probably. On Wasteland with my Saga. That's cool. I can minus Liliana and waste them. I actually like that. I think wasting them out of this game is a perfectly reasonable plan right now. Now I have Wasteland and Loam active. They haven't seen the Ghost Quarter yet, so even if they Pithing Needle Wasteland right now or bog me, I'm still in action. Dredge Loam again. 3 Wastelands in there. Looking pretty good. I'm going to plus Liliana first. Discard my basic Swamp again. I'm going to Light from the Loam first, so I know if I need to play Ghost Quarter or a Saga this turn. Like, if they rotate into Bog, alright, cool. I still have to play Wasteland this turn. And now I lose to Crop Rotation, so I just have to leave my Wasteland up forever. And they packed it up. This opponent is no Michael Maps, and Wasteland took them apart. On to the next round. We're about halfway through the video, so let me just remind you that if you like this deck and you want to try it out, you can use the code BoshNRoll to support the channel while you shop for cards at tcgplayer.com, and you can play any deck anytime with cardhoarder.com loan account on Magic Online. These links are in the video description below. Now back to the league. I am on the play against an opponent who revealed Yorion. It seems we're destined not to play against a blue deck in this league with 4 Chains of Mephistopheles. But it's all good. I have Chainz in my opener. We could try to hard lock Death and Taxes. That would make me really happy. Oh, it's a different version. This might be the Zenith thing. Yeah, there's a really cool 4-color Zenith deck that's making the rounds right now. It's actually in the queue for the future, and I'm excited to play it. I'm also excited to have such a good target for Fatal Push right off the bat. Bang. I left this up for Mother of Ruins, but I'll take a Birds of Paradise. Do I lead on Chainz or him? Probably him. The Chainz is so much more exciting if it's in play. Okay, I'll lead on Chainz. Because if they Force of Will this, and then I can him next turn, it's like casting 2 hymns, and if this resolves, it's worth many hymns over the course of the game. All right. Force pitching Uro. That's like a 75 for 1. That probably means there's another Uro in their hand, or there's not another blue card in their hand. Okay, Ponder, yeah. Or they're hurting for mana. I did knock out their Birds of Paradise. We'll see. It's nice to have the 1-2 punch of Hymn to Turok plus Niles Bob-Omb in case I do randomly spike an Uro on my Hymn. Ooh, Wasteland. Please use it. Ha ha ha. Ha 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 ha. Life from the Loam. Ah, the Anvil. We had it all here. Okay, there's some choices here. I can fetch Bayou, cast Hymn to Turok, and set up a Loam for next turn. I can Loam now, just to make sure I'm super safe. There's not that many green sources really in the deck, like, all things considered. Okay, I'm going to cast the Loam now. I just don't want to lose a game because I got cheesed out by an opponent who I feel like I have on the ropes already. We've had multiple positive exchanges, like had a clean answer to their turn 1 Birds of Paradise. They had to Force of Will pitching a card advantage engine. They wasted me when I'm a Loam deck. Like, I got a lot of good stuff going on right now. Let's not blow it by just getting cheesed by a Wasteland. Abundant Growth, okay. Please let me draw Wasteland. Holy shit. I'm not going to dredge my Loam. I do want to draw spells. Ooh. Okay, Hymn to Turok you. Let's start with that. Bang. 2 lands just went into the graveyard. Are they also a Loam deck? Do I even want to play Hammer? Who does this benefit here? I'm going to play Spellbomb and probably bomb them and then dredge Loam with the trigger. Do I want to dredge Loam or do I want to try to spike a Chainz? I got to dredge Loam. Look at this. They're sitting on 2 lands over there. One of them's holding an Aura. Finding Wasteland here would be so bang. Zenith for 0. Okay. Dryad Arbor's coming into play. They got to be a Loam deck, though. Like, Wasteland, Field of the Dead. There's a lot of Loamy looking shit over there. Yeah, I'm going to dredge Loam off this draw. Off return, Hymn to Turok. Fuck you. Hymn to Turok. Bang. This is the 3rd discard 2 of the game. Oh, and Loam was involved. Alright. Yep, Loam was in their hand. So that was a pretty good Niles Bob-Omb. They were probably counting on that to hit land drops. Prismatic Ending. Okay, that seems a little too little too late if you ask me. Just going to fetch my 3rd Bayou here. I'm already leaned in. And I am going to draw. I'm not going to dredge Loam because I see their Loam over there in their hand. Ended up with a Loam anyway. I'm going to get my Hammer down. Let's do this thing. They do have Loam in their hand. That's an easy discard. Unfortunate. Or Loam's in their graveyard, not even in their hand. Right. They could dredge Loam. Actually, it's much better that's in the graveyard. I lost track of my game zones. I thought this was revealed cards, but it is their graveyard. They don't really want to dredge Loam. They might want to do it next turn. I'm extremely interested in a Chains of Mephistopheles, though. It's time. I'm not going to dredge Loam on the first draw. Not going to dredge Loam on the second draw either. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Discard Life from the Loam. Or do I want to cast that? I could discard Saga. Yeah, and then just cast Loam. That makes sense. And then I can make green, black for Loam. And then I play Saga. Then I cast Smallpox, sacking my basic swamp. This is insane because it wipes out the Dryad Arbor and a second land. And now they can't even cast Loam if they dredge it. We're doing it. We're doing the thing. They did dredge Loam. And so they have Loam in their hand, but no mana to cast it. I am going to dredge Loam. Finding Wasteland here would just end the game. And that's what happened. Discard the second Anvil. Saga ticks up. I'm not going to worry about the construct when I can just put them to 0 permanents instead. Pox deck! Primeval Titan in the graveyard, Green Sun Zenith. Yeah, confirmed this is the 4-color Zenith deck. Deck is super cool, but it's also super dead. Turok, I'm interested in. League Engineer Sudden Edict. I don't think I care about that kind of stuff. Assassin's Trophy is a nice generic answer to things. Fatal Push was really nice against that Birds of Paradise. I suspect Fatal Push will find a target anytime I cast it. Do I even sideboard, I guess, is the question. I don't have specific problems I need to solve. In him to Turok, or Turok himself, actual Turok, I think is pretty cool. Problem is it's a non-bow with Smallpox because I don't have many creatures that can insulate sacking my own Giant Idiot. But hemming them many times does seem like a winning game plan against the blue deck. Grafdigger's Cage has text. Maybe I don't need Pithing Needle. Like, we saw Wastelands in their deck, but I'm a Loam deck. That's how I beat Wasteland. Yeah, I'm just going to make that change. I have a turn 1 Chainz I'm keeping. Though I think I should Loam to lock up the turn 2 Liliana. Got a basic. We're going to Zenith for Arbor here. We are. Okay. Exposed as possible to Smallpox. Another Liliana. Okay. Mox Diamond. Discard Wasteland. Play my colored source. Loam back Wasteland. I discarded the Wasteland and played the Swamp instead of doing it the other direction in case this gets like Force of Negation or something. I'd rather have double black than color, colorless, and a Wasteland. Ending my Mox Diamond. Okay. I think it already did its job. Sylvan Library is really good, but Chainz is good against that card. Not going to dredge Loam. I don't have any green mana in my hand. Please resolve. Let's go. Let's go. They did have Force of Negation. Fascinating. That just wasn't the fight they wanted to fight. Weird. They either just drew that for turn or they have tremendous discipline to not Force of Negation a Life from the Loam. A Sylvan Library is the type of card that can take over this game if left unchecked. And they had to pitch Uro to do that, though. I'm pretty happy with that exchange. I think I am going to dredge Loam here. Just invest in the future. So my plan is to cast Liliana and take out their Dryad Arbor. Hope they don't have a second one in the deck. They could also like Ice Fang Coatl or something here, which kills my Liliana. Just gonna hope they don't do that. Alright, got away with it. Library does make Liliana pretty embarrassing. The plus on Liliana just seems unplayable right now. My opponent just went to 1, dead to Smallpox. Wander. They have been hyper aggro with the library. And being at 1, it's not like nothing. I don't know. And I can waste them twice this turn. Well, oh, they just packed. Oh, they fetched. Get fucked. I don't know if that was a meme or if that was on purpose, but yeah, they just died to their own fetch land. That was great. I'm on the play in round 4 with a pretty great start. I'm going to keep it. This is a hyper aggressive. Like, let's hope their deck is soft to Wasteland, because I have infinite of them. Like 3 naturally in my hand, plus life from the loam. I think I'm gonna play Wasteland, Mox Diamond, discard the Bayou, and then loam the Bayou back up. Like, I don't want them to know how many Wastelands I have right away, if that makes sense. So if they force a negation this and then Prismatic Ending, I have no color sources. So let's hope that doesn't happen. That would be a miserable punish for taking this line. Okay, my loam resolved. At least that's not happening to me. Yeah, the last time I played Loam Pox, my deck did not contain Mox Diamond, which I now recognize the error of my ways. And I'm not going to Dredge Loam. I have lots of good spells here. Oh, I could cast Smallpox and they can't daze it. Yeah, I think that's worth doing. Like, they can daze it to save their land, I guess, but they still lose Delver and the daze, and they get set back a land the same as if they sacked it. Okay, resolved. Gonna discard a Wasteland. Smallpox has historically been one of the most fucked things you can ever do against a Delver deck, because they tend to play on 1 creature, 1 land most of the time. And I'm leaving my Wasteland up. They discarded Expressive Iteration. Hell yeah. That counts as 3 extra cards I got off the Smallpox. If we're keeping score at home. Oh, Wasteland. Cool. I'm going to Wasteland my Wasteland in response. Gotcha. That'll show you who's boss. Okay, it's time to Dredge Loam and cast it. Hope they don't have Force of Negation. But even if they do, it's a 2-for-1. I feel like if they had Force of Negation or Force of Will, they would have cast it on that Smallpox that sent them into the Stone Age. Yep. Didn't think so. Oh, the Steam Vents. The shame. The pain and shame. Do I Dredge Loam here? I don't think so. Oh, fuck yeah. I get to waste them so they can't daze. And then Dark Ritual out Liliana and kill their Delver. Yeah, there were only 2 outcomes there. It's Force of Will this or concede the game. And they took the second one. That was sick. Absolute clowning of Delver. Okay, Sudden Edict and Assassin's Trophy. The Steam Vents builds of Delver don't have basics, so Assassin's Trophy is also Sinkhole, in addition to killing Murktide Regent. I'm not sure about Toxic Deluge, and if I'm not sure about Toxic Deluge, then it probably shouldn't be in the deck. Liliana kills Ragavans, Unflipped Delvers, and Undelirious Darcys. I will think about if that's something I want. I think the Anvil might be too cute for this matchup. Grafdigger's Cage doesn't matter, that's a freebie. I think Needle can name Wasteland, but my Wastelands are more important than theirs. Yeah, I think Anvil's too cute, but Chainz is actually just insane face up without any cute shit involved. I like the removal spell. I like the Nile Spell Bomb. The rack gets a lot worse if you're not hammering them, but it's a one of for Saga tutoring. I think it's fine. Him to Turok on the draw is like weirdly not that good. Oh, Turok Dread Crantor sucks here. I'd rather have Liliana. The pro white is irrelevant in this matchup, and a 2-1 body is also largely irrelevant in the matchup, and paying 4 to kick this thing is basically never going to happen. So I'll take Liliana the Last Hope over that. Okay, let's do it like this. There might be a conversation about changing some number of Baleful Mastery into Plague Engineer, but even without Chainz in play, I don't care if they draw a card if their Murktide Regent is dead. This is another Blazing Wasteland start. I'm in for it. No Loam this time makes this little worse. Ragavan, okay. That is going to get edicted suddenly. Okay. I can waste them and then also Dark Ritual Sudden Edict. Is that the play? That plays around days. It's also like sort of embarrassing to Force of Will. All right, yeah, I'm gonna go on that. If they force the Mox Diamond, I'm in trouble. Dark Ritual and Sudden Edict. Bang! I hope there's a Force of Will in their hand that they were saving for my Liliana. Okay, that's gone. Relic of Progenitus. All right, powerful hate card. I'm gonna waste them again. Exile Dark Ritual. Relic costs a mana to pop it, and if you don't have a mana, you can't pop it. So that's my plan. Have Arid Mesa. Fine, whatever. They didn't deploy a threat last turn, which is kind of interesting. All right. They did have one after all. Loam right now while they're tapped out? Nope. All right. Urza Saga. It's your time to shine. Please don't have Wasteland. The aggro Brainstorm to flip Delver, revealing EI. They do have Wasteland, okay. They still have a 1-turn window to draw Loam here before the Relic actually does take some control of this game. Or Smallpox, I'd take that too. Assassin's Trophy, okay. Now I have the choice of hitting Delver or Volcanic Island with this. I think that choice is actually kind of interesting. If they have Daze, they're fine either way. I have a lot of creature removal in the deck. Let's just go for the lands. Stay on target. Forest pitching EI. Yep. I'll take that 3 for 1. They relic me again. Takes out my Assassin's Trophy. Alright, time to draw Liliana. Ha! Beep boop bop. Last card in hand. Don't be dazed, don't be dazed, don't be dazed. They're popping the relic. They're digging. Oh, they found force pitching something. Force pitching Brainstorm. Yeah. Okay, the relic is clear. We got another 2 for 1. Life total is at 11. And now I'm playing around Daze with this one. Yeah, sometimes you just draw several Lilianas against the creature deck. I lose my Lily to Lightning Bolt here, but she did her job. The pressure's off. The relic cleared their own graveyard, so Murktide Regent is not even close to arriving right now. I can play any card I draw, so I'm not worried about anything getting stranded in my hand here. Oh, it's hammer time. And the hammer is slightly concerning because it gives them card selection that I wouldn't really want them to have, but I'm going to lean into the meme. Oh, they bolted in response. Fuck, that's actually insane. That was really well timed on the Lightning Bolt. Now I'm feeding the Murktide Regent. I'm such a dingus. Should have just blessed Liliana. Oh, Layla. Alright, they're up to some different kind of thing here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They can 4/4 or 5/5 Murktide Regent right now. Yikes. I've never been so happy to see a dashed Ragavan. There are not a lot of cards in my deck they would cast. Play from Loam. Yeah, definitely not that one. I mean, they could cast it, but then I get it forever. Not a great deal for them. I am going to fetch. It takes a turn off the Ragavan clock, but I really don't want to draw more lands. If it can be avoided. Oh, yes, 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 yes. We're doing this. Get those hooks in. We know a card in their hand is Ragavan, so they can't Force of Will here. I can pay for Spell Pierce. They can't Fluster, can't Daze. This is happening. It also means I'm Hellbent facing down Ragavan, so maybe this isn't good for me. Just so excited to get the hooks in. Who cares that I'm miles behind in this game and losing quickly? Oh, they chucked the Rag. Do they have 2, or do they not think that's what the game is about? Wait, am I just hard locked? How does this actually work? Like, do you need a card in your hand when you start this process, and you just lose if you don't do it? All right, I'm definitely losing to Layla. This is not a card I can beat. Oh no. The Chainz! Locked out by my own Chainz. Okay, I'm dead. Yeah, that was ill-advised. I did get them Hellbent, just saying. But they had this unbeatable threat. And I drew 2 answers to it, but had to discard them both. Yeah, nice deck. Okay, they have Layla. Does that change anything? I don't think so. All my removals are already in the deck. Yeah, let's go. That Anvil was treacherous. Okay, note to self. That's the second time I've assembled the Anvil's chain thing, and it's the second time it hard locked me. So I need to pick my spots better. On the play, I have Dark Ritual Chainz. I'm going to keep this and actually just play Swamp Go. Or maybe Verdant Catacombs Go. Doesn't matter. I think Swamp. Yeah, I'm going to Swamp Go here. They've been pretty good at having turn 1 creatures. And if I can set up a full value Dark Ritual where I get to Smallpox and then Chainz next turn. Like if I writ into Chainz now, they can just force it and I leave them mana unspent. This is 2 things that they're going to want to counter. And I believe that I want the Verdant Catacombs involved here. Dark Ritual. Smallpox, lead on that. They can't daze this, and if they daze this, then, or if this resolves, then they won't have a land to daze the Chainz. Now they can daze Chainz, but let's hope they just don't have it. All right, Chainz is in play against blue-red. They're not known for their ability to answer enchantments in those colors. Just hope their hand is hot garbage at this point. I also got so excited about the Smallpox that I didn't even consider, like, I got so excited about the Chainz that I didn't even consider doing it the other direction, like bait with Chainz and then resolve Smallpox. Which probably is a better play. I'm stoked for the Chainz. Just pondering fearlessly into Chains of Mephistopheles. Love to see it. DRC is a good reason to do that. I'm going to need some creature removal quickly. Oh no. I'm not ready for this. I could wasteland them, play Hammer, and I have some cards to operate with here. Okay, here's the Hammer. I think this is worse for me than it is for them, but I'm here for it. I left one Hammer in my deck, and I've drawn it, so let's go. Oliver didn't flip, that's good news. I do have some amount of card selection left. I have a little buffer here with my 2 cards in hand. Discarded Layla, good. Can't beat that one. Discarded 2 Laylas. Oh god, do they have Murko? That would certainly be a way out of this game. Ragavan, that's bad too. And I'm taking 6 here. I'm on a 3-turn clock so far. It took my Liliana. That's what I wanted. That was my #1 draw. Okay, I drew Loam. That's actually great. And then discard Verdant Catacombs. Discard Verdant Catacombs. Bayou, cast Loam. Well, my combos online, I'm cushioned against the lock, and they're not. However, I am dead in 2 turns. I believe they have to discard their hand here. Or do they end up with 1 card? Daze is gone. Yeah, they keep the Ragavan. So yes, I'm dead in 2 turns. I gotta answer multiple creatures right now. It's not looking good for the home team. Trophy, they can even kill my Chainz? Honestly, I hope they do. Like, leave me with the Hammer, kill the Chainz. They should kill Hammer, though. Oh, they went after Chainz? That's so good for me. Now I don't have to do weird shit. It also ramps me. Do I want Basic Forest? No, I have Bayou. Okay. Alright, deck, give me 2 spells. We're suddenly back in this. Something resembling a chance. Oh no. Wasteland's not it. Assassin's Trophy. Oh, maybe. Discard Verdant Catacombs. Wasteland you. Their hand is Ragavan. And if I trophy one of these creatures... Alright, they get multiple looks at the second land, though. Ah, shit. Yeah, if they couldn't dash Rag, I could actually be alive at 1 and get another turn. But the Hammer helped them out too much. Okay, GG's. The hooks were not in hard enough. I actually hooked myself game 1, and they were under my business game 2. I drew all of the prison stuff and none of the removal stuff. GG's, opponent. I actually think if I had done the Dark Ritual Chainz gets forced, Smallpox you play, that I win that game. But I got so excited about Chainz that I just leaned into the meme instead of winning the game. Anyway, we're on the draw against a Yorion deck, playing for the positive record. I'm going to keep this hand with turn 2 Liliana. Mana Acceleration is nice if they are D&T. Oh, they're the Zenith deck again. Okay, let's do this thing. Double Baleful Mastery is kind of rough if I don't have Chainz in play. But maybe I'll just get up to 4 mana. If I draw Smallpox, I'm actually pretty excited about that. Graph Ticker's Cage. Look who decided to show up. Alright, I'm going to play Cage. I'm not going to show them the Mox Diamond. Like, I can Diamond plus Lily next turn. The name of their deck is Zenith, so turn 1 Cage, game 1 is kind of sweet. Sucks that it came after the Dryad Arbor already arrived. Wrist the Hunger Tide. That's a good one. Yeah, Planeswalkers tend to be good against Pox decks. Especially Planeswalkers that line up this well against my Planeswalker. I think I'm going to have to hit Grist with Baleful Mastery. Just accept the price of doing business on that one. That's gone. They drew a card. Because if I play Liliana and minus, they sack their insect, attack Liliana with Dryad Arbor, and they still have Grist active. If I plus Liliana, they minus Grist, sack their token, and kill Liliana anyway. That was just not a winning proposition for me. Leovold. Yikes. That draws lots of cards. If I get Chainz down, Leo becomes kind of funny. But I don't have a Chainz, you see. I do have a Liliana. I can plus her and then she dies to combat. Yeah, I'm like half a step behind everywhere I need to be in this matchup right now. I'm gonna play Ghost Quarter and Mox Diamond and pay the iron price for a Baleful Mastery. They still get to draw a card because it's Leovold, but at least I can get rid of it. I would love a window to resolve this Liliana when she's not instantly dead. Ghost Quarter should tell them I'm a Loam deck 100% in case they were confused. This Mox Diamond probably indicates a Loam deck as well. Open Library, okay. It's a great time to draw Chainz. Real deck. Hook it up. Make it happen. Anvil. Do I want Anvil? I can Liliana plus Liliana, discard Mox Diamond. Now I think I need Anvil active. This does help them filter through dead Green Sun Zeniths, but I need to filter through my dead Mox Diamond. I can also Ghost Quarter this Dryad Arbor. Oh, that's bad. That's what I should have done. That play's been right in front of me this whole time. I could have GQ'd Dryad Arbor, played Liliana, minus kill insect token, and then we're on a stable board. Yeah, that was the play. Whoops. The Anvil card even goes into the pool of Sylvan Library cards you've drawn this turn. Jace the Mind Sculptor. That one's hard to beat. Yeah, these permanents that gain non-creature permanents that amass card advantage, the Planeswalkers, the Sylvan Library, those are the absolute bane of Pox decks. I went for the Bee Storm. Deck for 2. So I get to loot away this Mox Diamond, assuming nothing else better shows up. Yeah, I'm going to loot the diamond away. And then I'm going to tap Ghost Quarter to play Liliana. If I can like trick them into not countering it, that would be great. Yep, didn't fall for it. I'm shocked. Blue, blue, black. They only have one black source. I don't know if that matters, but I'm going to take them off it. How hard would Chainz fuck up this opponent, though? Sylvan Library dead. Jace plus Fate Seal mode exclusively. Probably still lose to that, though. If they're just Fate Sealing every turn. There is a Pithing Needle in my deck. That's what I'm drawing to here. Ended my hammer. Alright. We don't need to keep playing this one. I get it. I've lost to Jace. I understand. I was unable to answer the Dryad Arbor quickly enough, and then I was behind the ramp for the whole game. Okay, Bug Zenith. Assassin's Trophy. They have a lot of scary permanents. Leona the Last Hope. They do have a number of creatures that die to that. Turok is actually playable here. They have white removal, and the game's going to go long enough to have 4 mana. Sudden Edict doesn't seem great. Fatal Push is fine. Baleful Mastery is fine. I'm going to get a little skinnier on Hammer. Grafdigger's Cage is good. Needle, the Planeswalkers are relevant, for sure. Smallpox is very good against any creature, any deck with mana dorks. I think I'm just upgrading my Baleful Masteries to Assassin's Trophies. I can shave a little bit there. The game's going to go long, so I'm going to go a little thinner on Dark Ritual. It's just a really bad top deck. Okay. I'm doing this. It's slow, but I'll keep it. Slow and steady. That's what we signed up for in this round. Play my Swamp. I can waste or trophy them next turn, depending on how they start this game. Abundant Growth. That looks like a good thing to hit with Assassin's Trophy. I wish I had it up in response. Okay, that's better. I don't think I want to run my Bayou out. Dark Ritual. Liliana. Blaze Resolve. They had the Force. My life is pain. Making this opponent play on basics by floating the Wasteland out there is kind of interesting. Probably not something they really want to do. Another one. Lily. Plus, I'm going to discard Loam, I think. Maybe I discard Urborg. No, it's Loam. I'm a little nervous that I only have the one green source, but that's going to punish me either way, probably. Ice Fang Coatl. What's the play here? Yep, okay. I'm discarding Loam. I discarded Field of the Dead. All right. They're fetching. Is it still time to play on basic lands? What's the game plan here? I really don't want to play this Urborg because color screwing them is part of my plan. They can cast Leovold with this. God, I hope they don't have Leovold. Prismatic Ending. That it's not worse. I would honestly prefer that to Leovold, but it's probably close. I'm gonna Dredge Loam. It's 0 lands. Cool. Trophy the thing with a thing on it. See how many basics you have in this deck. There's probably some number of basics that are not snow, because it's a Field of the Dead deck also. There is a Plains in the deck, but that takes them off black mana. And I'm not playing Urborg to give them the black back that I just took them off of. Oh, they just had Bayou. Don't worry. Zenith for 3. I'm going to waste in response in case they get Leovold. Don't want to let them draw the extra card. Though Grist is probably just way better. Uro is a powerful card as well. Oh god, they have a Wasteland. No, I'm getting color screwed. All right, time to draw a green source and just undo this. If I draw green right now, I might be okay. Oh, that's fun. Just put us both into the dirt. I'll play this game. And I'm going to sack the Urborg for sure. Okay, time to get ugly. Oh, they discarded a Brainstorm off of that? They must have a plan. Brainstorm seems like exactly the card you'd want in the face of a nearly hellbent Smallpox. Oh, they had their Loam. Yeah, we're dead. That's the card that I needed them to not have. I signed up for this game plan hoping to draw a green source and getting ahead with my Loam, but if they have theirs, they Loam last turn, they Uro this turn, and the game is over. And I did draw the green source right away. I just needed them not to have Loam right now, and they did. One of the core conceits of the Pox deck is that you're going to be a better low resource deck than your opponent is. And right now, we just saw an opponent have their Loam, and they Loamed first, which put us just way too far behind to ever do anything. And in the last round, we saw Delver just put some 1-drops into play, which completely clowned our plan. Why isn't Uro in play right now? Why are they brainstorming? Weird. But okay. Like, they Loamed last turn, right? There were lands in the graveyard that could have produced blue here. Now they Loamed. I feel like something weird just happened. I think Uro should be in play, and I should not be getting another turn this game. Or another relevant turn. Like, I should just die in 3 turns and they pull way ahead of everything. Zenith. Okay. And if they have force of anything, I'm in trouble. I'm gonna get my basic forest here, just in case. Dredge Loam, target, Wasteland, Bayou, Catacombs. I can waste them off blue, but no, I can't, not really, because they just Loamed. Yeah, the Wasteland phase of this game is over. I'm moving into the deal with Uro phase of the game, which is going to be really hard to do. Really needed to find a Saga there to have a chance, I think. There's the Uro. Sylvan Library to go with Uro, yeah. I'm going to take one more draw step, see if there's a miracle, and then concede. And ponder. I'm going to fetch in the end step. I don't want to draw a land. Don't know what I am drawing to. It wasn't Mox Diamond. All right, I'm going to scoop it. Too far behind to Uro. This deck had heroic moments. It also had embarrassing moments. I think that too much has to go right for the Chainz Anvil thing. Like, when you're playing Pox, you are generally hellbent and like living by the Loam or living by the draw step, and you're putting your opponent in the same position. But the fact that once Chainz Anvil is in play, you can't actually do anything else. Like, maybe I'm just understanding this wrong or something, but like, you can't stick this from Hellbent and do anything. Like, you'll never get to dredge your Loam again. Both players will be Hellbent for the rest of the game. Yeah, that just doesn't work. I don't know. Yeah, you need to be slightly ahead when you stick this, and Pox lives by playing from parity and then breaking it somehow. So you do need to be ahead when you stick the hammer combo or anvil combo. Chainz is pretty cool. I do like this card. The anvil actually had some cool moments without the chains where we were just able to fix our draws a little bit. But I imagine you could play just a different card to do that. I don't know, there's probably some artifact you can tap to loot that doesn't also help the opponent. The Pox part of the deck was actually really good. I built a Urza Saga Loam Pox deck a while ago. Like I mentioned, I did not include Mox Diamond, which in retrospect was an oversight because Mox Diamond's been insanely hot. Actually, I think what happened was the person who submitted the donation league had some budget concerns and like they couldn't play Chainz or Mox Diamond, so I built it that way. Maybe that's what happened. But it didn't have Mox Diamond in it for one reason or the other, and that card was obviously insane for this whole league. I'm not sure if you need rituals and diamonds both as 4-ofs. You might be able to get a little lighter on rituals if you have a different accelerator, and that fits, you can fit like the 4th smallpox in or something else. I don't think, I mean, obviously the Anvil Chains thing is the meme here, and we tucked a meme into what's otherwise a kind of reasonable deck. And I don't think this meme, the juice is not worth the squeeze in this case. Sorry, Robert. It was fun, but it takes too much. You have to be ahead. You have to assemble this 2-card combo in a deck that doesn't select at all. Like basically no card selection, no your tutor. Like if Saga could get Anvil, if this was a 1-drop somehow, like that would be a different conversation. But these are just like 2 cards that you have to just draw at random from your deck. The fact that we won as many games as we did and the games were as close as they were, despite having Anvil, Chainz, and Baleful Mastery in the deck, I think is kind of a giant endorsement of this Loam Pox shell. Like I was genuinely impressed with that. That was good stuff. We did kill an opponent with the rack, so achievement unlocked in that regard. In closing, if you're going to play the Anvil Chains deck, you might not need 4 of each. Go a little thinner. You could probably play 3 of each and still do it sometimes, but it won't be such, won't gum up your hand so often. Play all 4 smallpox. That card's excellent. If you want to play Loam Pox, obviously cut the anvils. Maybe go down to 1 or 2 chains, or maybe 0. Baleful Mastery can be something different. Like, you get a lot of slots open up if you drop the meme and go straight for Loam Pox, and that's a pretty exciting shell to work with. Those are my thoughts on that. Robert, thank you for submitting this deck. Everyone else, thanks for watching. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out the Patreon, check out the merch. All of those things are available, and I'll see you for the next video.